Thank you. It's TJ Pine Valley Place versus Kevin Stroop. File number is 252656LT. Attorney Joan Larson is here on behalf of TJ Pine Valley Place. She's had a history with this file. It's very helpful to have the same lawyer in these complicated cases. And Meg Bauer is here from Legal Aid on behalf of Mr. Stroop. He has had a perpetual and long time bed bug problem at his apartment, and the complex has been trying to remediate it for several years. We had a consent order which didn't work, and the plaintiff attempted to enforce the consent order with a termination of tenancy. Defendant's counsel through Ms. Bauer objected. There were some technical issues regarding doing it as a violation of the consent order. So it was agreed the plaintiff would simply refile a termination of tenancy, which they have done. And this is the first hearing in that regard. As I mentioned, I was asked to do a mental pickup commitment hearing this morning as a cross-sworn probate judge. We're all sworn to cover for each other when we're gone. And I'm the judge that does the mental health pickup hearings when the probate judge is gone. I do, I don't know, several a year. And very often I already know the people because they're connected to district court cases, and that's the circumstance here. I won't go into the details, but Mr. Stroop is in very poor physical condition. He's not cooperating with mental treatment. His apartment is filthy. He's filthy. And I think he just wants to die.
He is still receiving his mental health medication, as far as I understand.
All right. Well, at any rate, there's a hearing at 9:30 in the probate court. Judge Kane elected to do it himself before he leaves on his trip. So this is a just cause termination for the reasons I stated, a long-term problem with bed bugs in this apartment and other issues. My hope was at some point Pivotal or another agency would find alternate housing for this defendant, but he's very difficult. He's very difficult to place. I'll leave it at that. So this is a first hearing. Ms. Bauer's got a very good grasp of the circumstances, and so does Attorney Larson. So we need to set it for a second hearing. Ms. Bauer, do you have any further insight on this?
I know that Pivotal has worked on trying to find alternative housing, but there are a number of barriers, including some questions about the voucher. Ms. Larson did inform me this morning that he may have his voucher back, but that doesn't align with my understanding of how vouchers work. So I'm curious to get more information about that. At any rate, the defense would object to the allegations that they rise to just cause, and that that he has acted as they have alleged he has acted, just for purposes of covering an answer here. But we certainly don't know what's going to happen with him at 9:30 this morning, and
well, we need to set a second hearing
answer.
And as I indicated, when we were in the context of non-compliance with the consent order, there were some very technical requirements that the defendant claimed needed to be met. Now it's just a general termination of tenancy for just cause going back several years, and the whole broad context of what was what. But I still expect this isn't going to go quietly.
Your Honor,
Yes, Ms. Larson?
I do want to let you guys know that there is a condemned sticker on his door. We did take over the property not that long ago, so I personally don't know a whole lot on behalf of Mr. Stroop, but there is a condemned sticker on his door. And Chief Hayden called yesterday and said he had went and told him that he was not supposed to be there, and he simply said okay and shut the door in his face.
Judge, first, that was not Miss Larson. That was someone I'm not familiar with who that was.
All right, well,
That's
that's,
the
why don't you,
property manager. I
Ashley, why don't you go ahead and
apologize.
state, Ashley, why don't you state your name for the record?
Ashley Kasner,
And what's your position there?
property manager.
And Judge, my understanding is that this property was sold in December. I was on the phone with Mr. Stroop when Fire Chief Mike Hayden knocked on the door. He was operating in fire chief capacity. So I was actually there for
Well,
the
he's not just the
interaction.
fire chief, he's also the zoning enforcement officer. He's
That's
a
why I said
fire chief
in that
at Cullen,
capacity.
and Constantine, he's the building inspector. Oh, this is Constantine, so I'm not sure what his capacity
Well,
was.
I spoke with him, Judge. I spoke with
Okay.
him while he was there speaking with Mr. Stroop, and I spoke with him after the conversation with Mr. Stroop. But I can represent as an officer of the court that he absolutely did not slam the door in Officer Hayden's face because the three of us had a conversation together yesterday.
I don't think she said
Officer Hayden
slam.
was there because Pivotal called 911 to attempt to get him to leave with EMS. He declined medical service. And in fact, Officer Hayden expressed to me that he made very clear to Mr. Stroop that he was there in his capacity as fire chief and that he was not
Your
trying
Honor,
to
I have to
remove
object
Mr.
at this
Stroop.
point to Ms. Bauer putting in conversations that I was not a party to.
Yes, we're getting all over the place.
Well,
We're gonna have a second hearing on this place. At some point, he's gonna have to get out of there. The properties, we now learn, has been condemned. And so I don't know what the status is. I don't expect this is gonna be straightforward or simple. But because they're trying to find a place to put him.
But Judge, I have to advocate for the representations made about him, and so none of this
Well,
is.
that came out of the blue as in defense of you, Ashley, although it was helpful information to learn that the property's been condemned. And I was unaware of it, and I'll see what further information we can get. All right, I have a wide open next Friday afternoon, but my fear is that's too soon to put this.
In light of the fact that we don't know what's going to happen at 9:30, and there's a lot of voucher questions, I would agree that might be a little soon.
The
I
only thing I
understand the
will say,
plaintiff
Your
has
Honor,
an objective, though.
well, it's not an objective.
All right,
The only
Ms.
thing I will say,
Larson,
Your
what's
Honor,
your position?
I am leaving my office effective next Friday and going to work for the court. The Ingham County Friend of the
You're
Court.
going to work where?
Ingham County Friend of the Court.
Oh, okay, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I will be leaving private practice. My last day is actually next Friday. If there's any way that hearing could be done via Zoom, I think that, I mean, this case has lingered for a very long time, Your Honor.
I apologize, but we are gonna be able to do this next Friday on your last day. Some poor other associate's gonna inherit this, but I'm gonna set it for 1 o'clock, 1:15. For February 13th. By Zoom. We don't know what his medical status is. We don't know what his pickup status is. We don't know what the condemned status is.
Your Honor,
Yes.
would that be scheduled as a second pretrial or is that going to be the actual trial date?
Well, let's call it a second pretrial. I'm not sure we'll be ready to take testimony. I've got the whole afternoon. Well, the problem is this keeps going and going and going and this condemned. So let's set it as a trial regarding termination of tenancy.
That would then be in person, Judge. This-
Generally, in person is what I do for testimonial trials.
and that
Every
is,
time Mr. Stroop comes, we have to spray for bed bugs after he leaves. His health, I'm guessing he'll be able to be here. Now, you also mentioned there's new ownership of Pine Valley Place,
Yes, Your Honor.
but the new owners, I think, want the same owners for.
Yes. And I know, Your Honor, if we have to get into witnesses as far as the exterminator, she is not local. She's like 2 or 3 hours away, and so are all of her crew.
I'm going to allow this one to be by Zoom for all concerned.
Thank you, Your Honor.
for purposes of the record, the defense objects to remote testimony.
All right. And you can preserve that objection. Things may change in that amount of time as things develop with the mental health case and his medical conditions and the condemnation. Their case in chief may be the fire chief came, inspected the property and condemned it. We wish to terminate his tenancy because the fire chief has condemned the property. That takes out bed bugs, a whole bunch of other stuff. But we'll see where we are. Certainly I'm willing, I know you guys have been talking about this case. Ms. Larson, best of luck to you. You've always done a fine job representing your clients here. This has been a particularly difficult one.
Thank you
But
very
we'll
much, Your Honor.
continue it to February 13th at 1:15, and whoever your successor is. And let's see what happens today with the mental health case, what happens with his physical health. And before you leave, maybe we'll have more knowledge on how to proceed, but we'll have it scheduled for that date. All right, thank you both.
Thank you, Your Honor.